Hello everyone, and welcome to the first official devlog. This devlog is me covering over the idea of this game, as well as the future of future of the game, what we want to achieve, and also showcasing all the stuff I have made beforehand, so you understand how far along we are currently in the making process of this game. So, what we wanted to do is make a game similar to Lethal Company.
What is that?
Mix in with mission-based objective.
Amazing. Mission complete. That right there is why you're the best, boss.
We wanted to make this game so you can play with your friends and have as much memories as you can with them while playing something like this, and have a couple of laughs with them. But the main premise of our game really and truly is your researchers sent out on missions to explore abandoned planets. Not just abandoned planets that used to originally be research centers, and you have to find and collect old data logs that's been left behind, and also hopefully learn more about why this area was left abandoned. What was this research area original purpose before it got left behind, as well as other missions on top of that which are unique to the planet. So for example, let's say you go to a planet that is a swamp planet and you have to collect fungus. That is a mission that you have to do and complete. We want to make each planet that you go to, or each area you go to, unique to that planet, and have to complete before the end of the day or end of the time period given to you. I've been working on this game a lot of my free time, so I have a lot of stuff to showcase to you, and also tell you what's still left to be work on, how I can improve all this sort of stuff, and hopefully after this devlog actually showcase stuff like codes I have been doing, new codes that you haven't seen and I haven't actually talked about already, that's been pre-made. So this is my test area where I make all my codes, make sure it all works and there's no problems happening in between. And just so you know, I am playing as a client, so then you can actually see all the codes actually works as intended, as a player character should do. So as I told you, this is where I make sure everything works and everything happens. So I want to showcase this code to you first, because this code is the most interesting one in my opinion. So this is a keypad system. So how it would work is, so the player character will load into game, interact with it, and then it tells you its 4 numbers are needed for this. Of course, I set the numbers already to just be 0, 0, 0, 0, and then once you click this button, it will then say correct code, and then does whatever little animation needs to do. But for this case, it just makes so the door can actually open. Makes sure the door opens up, and it does whatever animation needs to do. So if I press it right now, go through, no problem. But then you may be thinking, it probably was already unlocked and everything like that. But no, this door was already locked. I'm currently pressing E a lot and it's not doing anything. I had to come here, actually press the numbers, and then accept it. But what happened if this code was wrong and I wanted to go back and say it was supposed to be 7? I could just press back and then it would do that instantly. But I know it's all zeros, and then it's supposed to do its thing, and then the timeline happens, does its thing, send it all the way up, then it's supposed to come back down. But yeah, and then everything happens. That is one door that I made in one door system. If you haven't noticed, on the player character on the bottom right screen, there's a hotbar. That hotbar basically determines so the player can have items in its inventory and can use said items as free. So I followed a tutorial of this guy called Native Codes. Native Codes has been helping me so much with understanding the inventory system and also making sure it's replicable. But let me showcase how it works. As it stands, you can add the player can go in, grab the item, removes it off the pedestal and adds it to the hands. As you can see from the item, there's a box in my hand and it does that. But then you're like, oh, okay, cool. So then what happens if I had a second one? Have a second one. If I do the scroll wheel, currently there is something there. I just forgot to add the information to the thing. But if I scroll through the information, it adds it to my hands and goes from there. Let me showcase to you how it will properly work. So let me pick up this flare gun. Picked it up. See the flare gun in my hand. yeah, and I'm just scrolling, and it will do whatever it needs to do. I'm T-posing right now, but there's supposed to be an animation linked to it. I just haven't linked the animation yet. But then you're like, okay, if I don't want this, press G, and it drops the item at your feet. Find the thing, press G, drops at your feet, press G, drops the item at your feet. And then it does its little spinny thing to showcase that you can pick this up again. That was actually native code. I highly recommend following this video. I'm currently in the process of trying to figure out how to make it so if you have the item in your hand, how do you actually use the item, so then you can, you know, play around with it and actually do what you need to do. That is my next objective as it stands right now. But all I know is their codes individually do work. I have tested this on my own free time and I know they do work. They just ain't doing what it needs to do right now. So if the player presses a button, it will do its thing. That code is very interesting and very fun to work with, and I'm still in development for it. With the keypad code, my future goal for this is to make it so the numbers are random. So as it stands, it goes off of this system, saying when player interacts with it, does all this information, everything like this. I want to do it where this code right here is random, so you won't know what your keypad code is supposed to be at the beginning of the game. You're supposed to find out about it while playing it. That is something I am going to be working on later on in the future, but as it stands right now, I'm happy with the process of it right now. And you have probably another thing, the code I was able to work on is this elevator system. As it stands right now, I have to be on the listen server for this to work properly. I am still working on it so it can actually work on the client, but this elevator is very customizable, so you can determine how many floors you're supposed to go up on and what you're supposed to do. All the settings are here on the side, ready for when I need to do that. But if I load the game and then I press the button, door opens. It'll stay open until I actually enter it and interact with those buttons in there. So I come in, look around and be like, I want to go to floor 5. Press it, the door shuts, and I am going up. You probably can't tell that well, but once it's all open, I am very high up. But then let's say, oh, I want to go back to floor. I want to go back to down to floor 4. Press the button, sends you down the floor. But then what it does as well, if you accidentally press 4 by mistake, the door will shut and instantly open again, because it's like you're still on this floor. It doesn't need to go any further. But then let's say I'm on floor, my friend's on floor 1 and I'm all the way up there. So the buttons are still here. You press it and then it'll come down to make sure it goes back to floor 1. And then there you go. That one was quite a challenge. I'm still working on it. It's just so like it can properly work on client, but it does technically work if you put it on the listen server. I just don't know why it's not doing it properly, but it's something I'm still working on. Then I made these customizable doors. So we have a lifting version and a sliding version. So what you would have to do is, it's very customizable to the point where you can make it so if you had a keypad or a key card that you want to use for it, it can go off that information. So first you have to determine, is the door locked, and if it's locked, what sort of keypad system should it follow. For this purposes, I'm not going to be doing that because it basically follows the same system as the keypad system over there. But what you do is you can also determine should the door goes up or down, or for this one, should it goes left and right. But we're just going to make it go up. So you come here, interact with the door by pressing E, slides up, stays up there for a little bit, and then slides back down, and you can press it again and it does the same thing over and over and over. That is for that system. It was quite fun to do. I originally had it where it was much more complicated, but then I simplified it down just so it can actually work. And these right here is the terminals. My friend who's helping me on this project made the asset for this. She is improving it as we are speaking, so these aren't really going to be the final look of them. There's going to be more stuff to it, and I'm also adding extra stuff on top of it to make it look more interesting. So as you can tell from looking at it, we got data terminal, shopping terminal, and mission terminal. Shopping terminal is very simple. Interact with it, then you can buy any of these weapons, any of these equipments to help you in the game, and it tells you the price needed for it, and if you have the right amount of price, you can buy it, and so on and so forth. It's currently being worked on any further, where we're probably actually implementing probably more equipment that you can work on, and so on. And then you have the data terminal, which I'm not going to showcase to you because there is some stuff in there like lore for the game, but it basically works kind of like the same premise of like how you work any widget. And you got this mission terminal. This one I will not showcase to you because it will tell you what the planets we are planning to work on, or where the player character should explore. But you activate it, and then you have to buy and unlock new planets, and then explore those planets to make it more to progress down the line. We are still, I've fully done and upgraded all of that, so it's all ready, and it's all ready for you to buy and stuff, but I'm still working on the actual mission part of it, so I can't showcase any of that as of yet. So the plan is for this game, after all of this, I'm still have a friend who's working on footsteps for me. He's making some footsteps downs, and also once the footsteps downs are done, I'm going to be implementing that, as well as implementing some VFX for the feet, so it actually pickups like dirt and stuff like that if you're running, walking, or anything like that. So the plan for this further on is we have to make some enemies. We only have one so far. That's currently still the other's currently still getting worked on as it stands, but it's a process of I'm mainly focused on the player character and the essentials that the player will interact with. Then I'm going to be working on some of the enemies, and then my friends also decided that they want to do some coding and so on. But as it stands, the future of this game, I still need to work on the actual implementation of making it so you can interact with the items in your inventory, further improvements to these terminals, as well as some other neat tricks that we are working on. We're currently waiting on some missions to be done, a general mission that can then be done to expand further. Oh, there's actually one more thing I want to showcase to you. So as the player character, we thought as researchers you should be able to have a view of your surrounding. We didn't want a mini-map because we thought a mini-map was going to be too easy for the player. So we decided you have something called a scanning pulse. Hold and press F or whatever button you want to choose, and it sends out a pulse out to the world and lets you know quickly, like for 3 seconds, your surrounding area, so you know what enemies are around, what items you should pick up, and so on and so forth. I'm sorry if you can hear anything in the background. That's just my dog barking. I don't know why he's barking, but he loves barking for no reason, and it gets annoying sometimes. But yeah, if you also haven't noticed, there's 3 out of 3 and 0 out of 3. Those are grenade systems that we're working on. I can actually showcase one of them to you. So if you press and hold V, this is a line of where the grenades should go when you throw it out after you release V. So this is your track line saying, okay, the grenade will roughly land there, and so on and so forth, so your landing point. And then if you let go, throws out grenade, then the grenades will do is coding information. This is a smoke bomb that I've been working on. I've fully worked on it, and it's perfect. There's no problems with it. And then the other one, that is a secret that I will showcase to you further down the line. But you can switch between the grenades, and it will do that information. Because there's nothing there, it won't throw out anything, but you can switch and it will learn that I'm supposed to use this grenade and not that grenade. That was quite fun to work on, in my opinion. And yeah, that's everything so far. So like I said, the future of this channel, the future of this game is still being worked on, and after this point there is nothing I have to showcase to you of old code. I only want to showcase to you new code, because I feel like new code and new things that to work on is very more important than showcasing old stuff, because it may be interesting to you and also it's still interesting to me, but I want to actually tell you more stuff that has been worked on and what needs to be done. So thank you guys, and I hope you like, subscribe, and stay around for when the next game dev comes along, and so forth. Thank you. Bye.